Yes, hello guys, and welcome to the Everton preview. As you can see, I've got four of the lads on the show today, so let me give them a proper introduction. First off, we have Ten Hag's biggest fan and potentially his new assistant at United, Adam Gray. How are you doing today, Adam? You all right?
I'm doing good. Only a bit of positive news in recent weeks, so we'll take it.
Well, I was about to say, but we'll take it. We'll take it. We also have the gaming fanatic Shreyas on the show today. How are you, Shreyas?
Doing pretty well. Just the heat is killing me.
Okay. Is it hot there? Yeah, really hot.
Pretty hot. 40 degrees.
Oof.
Ten Hag signing.
Wow, yeah. Yeah. Good. Bloody hell. We've also got Anthony Marshall's wingman Severe on the show. What are you saying, Severe? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
And I can see Sam pulling his face there, waiting for his introduction. It's actually a nice one. It's a nice one, to be fair. We have the technical wizard, Samuel McCabe, on the show.
I'll take that.
How are you, Sam?
I'm all right. I'm just waiting. When's Adam shaving his head? Because he said he would when Ten Hag retired. So
I should grow the goatee out too.
Yeah.
That'll turn him even more into Walter White, but that's a different conversation for a different day. So yeah, again, there's positives on both sides. So yeah, 5-star cast today, obviously on the show, as always. Now, Shreyas and Severe, you wasn't on the show with us last night when we went live for the breaking news. So I just want to get your thoughts on that very quickly, if you can. Shreyas, if you want to go first on Ten Hag, obviously, being the next manager.
I was actually expecting this kind of news to come out from United because of the kind of performances that we actually pulled ever since the international break. So even they wanted the fans to actually have something so that a little heat dies down on them and something positive does come out. And right now, the only thing that could lead to that would be the manager signing. And right now, all the fans want Ten Hag, and even except most of the some board members, except some board members, or many board members are fans of him as well. So I think it's a really good call to get Ten Hag, especially in this kind of a situation, so that the players even know that this guy is coming in, and situation clearing up on how Ragnick is going to conduct himself in the board and how much power he'll have. So I think more than the players, even the fans are able to get a lot of knowledge as to how things are going to work with United starting next season. So I think it's the first time in quite some time that we already know what's going to happen next season beforehand, rather than us actually being oblivious till the winter break and then some new things come out and then we are in a situation where we're wondering, okay, this guy is going to come or this is going to happen. So I think being prepared already for the next season is a really good sign, and just we need to be patient with this manager, and we have to make sure that it's this guy who controls the team and not just individual players or the locker room.
Yeah, I'm waiting for to get into the first 4 months of the season. Obviously, if he does sign on as manager, which looks like it's going to happen, but the first 4 months, and then you get people saying we should have kept Ole. He's doing this and he's doing that. Like these kind of guys, they're going to come out of the woodwork, I can guarantee you. Severe, I feel like you've had an inside scoop on this all along, because the past 2-3 months you've been saying, "Trust me, it's Ten Hag. Trust me, it's Ten Hag." So, what are your thoughts on the appointment? Obviously, massive news last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, huge news. I was elated. I'm happy. Finally, it's done. We can put to bed all the speculations. There's all that news about who we're going to get, the division with the fans. That's all dead now. We know who it's going to be. Well, kind of. Like Shera said, I like the fact that we've done it way ahead of time before the end of the season. So we know that with the preseason, he's coming in. He can start implementing what he wants to do early on. What excites me the most is that I think we have about 4 or 5 players who are coming to the end of their contracts and who are going to leave. So he's going to be able, he's not coming in with lots of players on long-term contracts. And then, it's going to be easy for him to get rid of players, or at least, to bring in his own type of players. We have some promising youth players coming through as well. He's good with youth. So I'm really excited about that, because for a manager to be able to imprint his style, he needs his type of players. If Ten Hag was going to come in with this squad, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. If he's going to be the manager of this team with the current players we have, nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same old crap.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that we're losing some players. He's going to come in and then he's going to, be able to bring his own players in and fill up the squad with. I would also just call for patience from fans. This is not like, he's not just going to come in and wave a magic wand and everything's going to be fine. He has to be able to get the players to play his style of football. Ten Hag plays a possession-based type of football, passing. The type of football that he plays is not the same that, our players are not used to playing that type of football. It's going to take a while for that to settle in. So if there's lots of fans watching this, please don't just jump on Twitter after 4 months. Give the guy time. Yeah, exactly. Just give him time. Look at what Arsenal did. They were 17th at the start of the season. And they showed faith. So just no matter what happens at the start, just give the man time, let him settle in his philosophy. And overall, I'm really happy.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more on that statement. What everything you said was absolutely bang on. And I said last night, I'm still a bit apprehensive. I think he's going to do a good job, but I think coming in, you mentioned all the players there that are going to leave, the people he's got to bring in, the coaching side of things that he's got to sort out, the board upstairs, he's going to have to sort there's a list, millions of things that he's going to have to do. So it's going to take a long time. But yeah, it's nice to have him in, and then Rangnick having a consultancy role upstairs. It's a change, it's different, and maybe it's a new era where Richard Arnold's taking it in a different direction. So fingers crossed going into the summer, when we see our recruitment side of things and stuff like that, it can be positive.
Patience. Patience is the key word.
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
That's what we need.
100%. But
a little patience.
There we go. We've got to take that fan there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's bring it back. Obviously, we've got Everton tomorrow at 12:30. And as always with my preview lads, I start them off with brain teasers. So I've got a question for you. A question I wanted to ask is, can you name 5 players who have played for both Manchester United and Everton Football Club? So hit me.
Phil Neville, Schneiderlin.
All at once, or do we do it individually?
Let's go
Tim
with the
Howard.
obvious one. So Sam, you throw
Phil
one
Neville.
at me.
Phil Neville.
Shreyas.
Howard.
Wayne Rooney.
Severe.
Michael Keane.
Michael Keane. Interesting. Any others you can think of?
Schneiderlin, he went for United to Everton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fellaini.
Fellaini. Any others?
Donny.
Darren Gibson.
Donny. Darren Gibson, yeah. Honourable mention. Tom Cleverley, another honourable mention.
Did he play for? Was he on loan to Everton?
He played at Everton, yeah. Louis Saha spent 4 years at United, won 2 Premier League titles, League Cup, Champions League.
I fucking loved Louis Saha.
And had really bad injury issues, but then he went to Everton and scored if you remember that goal in the FA Cup.
Kanchelskis. I think Kanchelskis played for Everton.
Yeah, Kanchelskis on there. And I really don't I know the player. I get his name wrong. It's Jesper Blomqvist.
Blomqvist.
Blomqvist. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Obviously, treble winner in '99. My pronunciations. We don't need to get into that Grinch. Kind of stuff.
That's a whole video in itself.
Did Romero go to Everton? Our goalkeeper, or was he just linked?
No, he's playing in the Italian league now, I think.
But he was just linked to.
He was linked, he was linked with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously with it being an Everton preview, I thought I'd bring that in. So yeah, we're looking towards the game, guys. Obviously we're playing Everton at Goodison Park. The last time we played them was the start of October at Old Trafford when we drew 1-1 and Fred got absolutely bullied by Damari Gray. And to be honest, Everton could have won that game as well if Tom Davis had his thinking cap on. So we got lucky in that fixture. Some history for you is head-to-head, club versus club. We have 90 wins against them, 47 draws and 70 losses. And that goes back to 1898. So yeah, long history, rival with Everton. Go on to it.
Tim Howard.
My guy. Yeah, someone mentioned him before. Did someone mention him?
I did.
Before?
I think I said Tim Howard.
Yeah. He was our first team keeper, wasn't it? And then he made some proper bad mistakes, and then went on to play 404 appearances, I think it was, for Everton.
We had that period, didn't we, after Schmeichel, where we just went through the random goalkeepers for about 10 years.
Tom Carroll.
Carroll, Roy Carroll, Barthez, Tim
Kushchak.
Howard.
Is it
Tim
Kushchak?
Howard, yeah.
Kushchak.
Oh, Kushchak.
Kushchak.
Yeah.
Who's had these like series of average to shit keepers.
Sorry,
but yeah,
go on. Sorry, Nick.
it's all right. In regards to Everton, obviously a lot has changed since the last time we played. We've both had, new managers. Ralph coming in as interim for us and Frank Lampard taking charge at Goodison for them. But coming into this game, both teams are in really poor form at the moment, scraping the barrel for points. So I myself think it'll be a scrappy game. But Sam, with that being said, are you confident we bring home the 3 points tomorrow?
No. No.
Fair enough.
Like,
Why? What's?
I think our form has been, let's face it, piss poor, for lack of a better adjective.
Yeah.
Against Atletico, we were horrific, like just absolutely abysmal. I've not seen. It might have been the most boring game I've seen this season, and we've had some shit games.
Oh, it was so bad, wasn't it?
It was so boring.
The Leicester game was horrible as well.
Yeah.
Leicester game was just like, I think when you guys did the review, and I was like, I don't know if I could go on the review because I don't know what I talk about.
Yeah, just,
like, what would I say?
Someone described it as a testimonial from Maguire. That's what he said.
So we've shown no sort of impetus, no sort of attacking threat. I think half the players are on holiday. We've got nothing to play for. I think top four's gone, more than likely. I don't see why the players would fight for a win other than because Everton are even worse because obviously they got beat by Burnley like yesterday at time of recording.
Wednesday night, Sam.
Yes, Wednesday night. I said at time of recording. So
yeah, first.
I think Sean Dyche said at half time to his players, I don't think this team knows how to win. I don't think it knows how to win games. So it's like
till they meet Manchester United.
Yeah, exactly. And it all lines up for like, United win, but it's not going to go down like that. It's going to be like Nick said, scrappy game. We could lose. It could end up a draw. And if it is a win, it's going to be stuffy, like 1-0, 2-1, something like that. If we do win, but we haven't had our scoring boots on last couple of games at all, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Shreyas, after the result for Everton on Wednesday night, getting beat by Burnley, which is a massive game for them. And I did opposition opinion on a few days ago with my friend who's obviously an Everton fan. He was like, if we lose that game, we are done out here because their run of form after that is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So the question I want to ask you is if we beat them on Saturday as well, obviously, as losing to Burnley, do you think they'll go down?
I mean, it's still going to be, I think, really, really tough. But because when you look at if you look at the Everton side on paper, it has, that quality. They have players like Richarlison, they have Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well, some good sparks in the midfield. Even I don't really see Everton going down. But when the season did start and we had our predictions in about who would go down, I did mention that I do see one of the big clubs going down this season, whether it's going to be someone like Leeds United or an Everton. But at the moment, I still Leeds have actually found some form and Everton are still dipping. So based on the current situation, I would say Everton might go down. But if I still see with how the remaining games are, I still think that Everton might be just able to survive this season.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could have predicted the season that Everton's having. They've been absolutely dreadful, awful. And Rafa Benitez was a massive part of that, in my opinion. But Severe, 2 questions for yourself. With Everton fighting to stay up, do you think this game will be as straightforward as everybody thinks? Or what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Lampard as a manager?
Well, to answer the first question, Sean Dyche hasn't done us any favors with that statement, that comment there, because it's everywhere. Like it's on Twitter, it's So then, if they needed any extra motivation, that's what it is. And then of course, they haven't won, and then they come against the mighty Man United, and this is probably so. To be fair, like I'm not really confident, but the only thing is that I've noticed that whenever Ronaldo this season misses a game, he comes back fresher the next game.
Yeah.
I've noticed that's happened like twice already. So that's my only hope, that he just comes and sticks his head and scores a header. But as far as like the chemistry within our team and the way we're playing, I'm the positive guy here. And there's just nothing. I mean, when I watched the Leicester game, I was just like, there's no chemistry, nothing. So to be honest, I really don't know. I don't know if I care that much anymore, because I think top four is kind of gone in my... It's better for me to think that way anyway. So it will be a scrappy game. Hopefully we win. As far as Lampard goes, I kind of think he's at his level at Everton.
Okay.
You know,
do you think the job he did at Chelsea was decent? Well, obviously he didn't have the transfer. He had the ban on the transfers, didn't he? Do you think the job he did with like the young players there, the young British players, he did a decent job? Oh,
yeah. Sorry, my camera's going.
It's all right.
I'll just quickly answer the question whilst I sort that out. Yes, he did a really good job. Whatever happened to him at Chelsea could have happened to anyone. Some of you aren't old enough to remember when Chelsea had that Brazilian coach, Felipe Scolari. I think he just won whatever. Yeah. So I mean, everyone has come in and had a terrible time. You know, it could have happened to Lampard. It could have happened to anyone. I think he did a decent job. Yeah. I really haven't seen that much of them at Everton. I know the results aren't going their way. I don't know if it's a lack of concentration with the players, if it's a psychological thing. But yeah, Lampard, I think, is doing all right. I think they should just trust him, give him more time. Really.
Interesting. Just looking at their last 5 results, like, we think we're in bad form. So they got beat off Burnley 3-2. They got beat off West Ham 2-1. They got beat off Palace 4-0. They beat Newcastle 1-0, but got a guy sent off in that game. And then they got beat off Wolves 1-0. Another red card in that game as well. So they've won 1 and lost 4, probably the most out of form team in the league at the minute. Defensively, they've been awful. They've got a minus 20 goal difference. They've only won 7 games this season. Newcastle, Leeds, Arsenal, Norwich, Burnley, Brighton, Southampton. So they've only beat 1 team in the top half of the table, which again doesn't read great for them. And yeah, they've had a terrible run of games coming up. But it seems like everything is leaning in our favour. But this is where United sort of come in and go hold my beer and seem to fuck it up.
Relegation form, that innit? That is like utter relegation form.
4-0 off Palace in the cup.
Yeah.
Beat off Burnley, which is a massive game for him. Newcastle, they actually beat. That's the only game they won. And then losing to Wolves and West Ham, not great form. Adam, taking into account everything I've just said, again, do you think we get the job done tomorrow?
I personally don't think we will. I know we're going to go into score predictions. It's going to be a weird game because usually the pressure's on us with the battle of top 4, but they add a pressure of relegation now. So their fans aren't going to be one bit happy at all if they're just sitting back. They're going to be screaming for their team to attack as well. So maybe it could be quite an open game if we're willing to allow that, if we're going to go for it too. So I have a prediction that I'm going to go into later, but I'm not too confident about us getting a win in that game.
This is where we're at now, isn't it, with United? We're predicting we're not going to get a decent result against a team that's arguably going to get relegated and one of the worst informed teams in the league. That just shows how bad we're doing as well at the minute. Shreyas, where do you think we can hurt Everton tomorrow? What will be their kryptonite tactically?
I think down the flanks, if Jadon Sancho or whether we pick Rashford or Ilanga, if we are able to exploit the flanks well, I think we can do some serious damage on them, because both of their fullbacks, I won't say that the kind of teams that we have played till now, if I have to compare the quality of the fullbacks that we have faced, I think that there's a massive drop-off. And except that Sancho has been one of the only sparks that we have had in this team till now. So I expect a good game from him. And if he has a good game from that left-hand side, I think we can do some serious damage. Having Ronaldo back as well would prove really, really important for us, because we see how clueless we are without a striker. So if Sancho and Ronaldo are able to combine, I think we can do some really, really big damage to them. But except that, I still don't really see us really dominating the game. when you see it as a fan, a United game going up against a side like Everton, who haven't really been at the races this season, you would expect us to like have 65% possession, or even just attacking and dominating throughout the game, not giving them a chance to really come back at us. And that's one area that almost every single team in the league have used against us. We allow them to come back to us, even when we are doing good, like the game we had against Villa, where we were 2-0 up by 65th or 70th minute, and then we allowed them to come back and score 2 goals against us. So I still think that it's going to be a tough game, because almost every single team in this league, even when they are in the bad form, they happen to find form after playing Man United. So it's like we provide them the boost they need, which they have been lacking. So I expect a tight game, but otherwise I think Richarlison is going to be a threat for them, for us to counter. I think that De Gea will have to make a few saves. And except that, I still think that Sancho and Ronaldo are going to be the key tomorrow. And except that, if also depends on how we pick the midfield, because you never know, Pogba might get dropped too.
Yeah, I don't want to see that Bruno and Pogba as strikers again, or like false nines, and then they drive into the space. Like that just really didn't work. I didn't mind it the first half against City; it was okay. Certain bits of it worked, but the second half of that, and then the full game against Leicester, it was awful, absolutely awful. But focusing just solely on us, Surveyor, I feel like, you know, I ask this question every single week, but do you think, because I know how much you like talking about the prospects of maybe Arsenal finishing the top 4 or Spurs, do you think we're completely out of the top 4 race at all? Or is there any hope? Obviously, we've still got Arsenal to play at the Emirates, I think, and Arsenal still got Spurs to play themselves. So any glitter
Arsenal
of hope
lost as well, didn't they? Arsenal lost.
Yeah. So any glitter of hope for the United fans, do you think we can get top 4, Surveyor?
Realistically, I mean, there's 2 points to play for. So mathematically, yes, we can qualify for top 4 mathematically. But from a realistic point of view, I think Tottenham, I've always said this, I think, well, not over the past couple of months, I think Tottenham will probably be the ones, because they have an easier run in. We still got to play Chelsea, we've got to play Liverpool, we've got to play Arsenal. And our run of form at the moment, it's not. I mean, for us to be able to do that, we have to go on a crazy run. We have to literally go on a really crazy winning streak. And we had the chance to do that when we were playing the Watfords and the Newcastles. And you know, that's when, those are the games that win you the league. Those are the games that get you up there. It's when you get the points you're supposed to get, because you're not expecting to get points against the top teams. You know, anything against them is a bonus. But you should, your bread and butter is, you know, those teams. And then we threw that away. So now I don't see us going on some crazy run against, you know, like a 6-game win streak or whatever. Arsenal still have, I think, 2 games on us. And I think Tottenham have a game on us. So mathematically, yes. Realistically, I just don't want us to be in a conference league. If we make Europa League, that's fine. You know, but if we don't make it, then I'd rather you know, and then look at Wolves. And right now, Wolves and what's the other team behind us? There's Wolves and there's
West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah. Wolves are better. They're playing way better football than us.
They're coached very well. Very well. Wolves.
They've had
got some good players as well. Very good players.
Yeah, but they have a system. That Bruno Lange guy, like, he had a few losses, but he's stuck with it, and they're going on a really good run now. And you know, they look more exciting than us. So, I mean, I'm beginning to reality is beginning to sink in now. Yes, we're Man United by name. We're nothing like what we used to be. And I'm not going to be...
I agree with you, Sophia, in the fact that the work should have been done when Rannick came in and we were looking at all them games. You had Palace, Norwich, Newcastle, Wolves, all these kind of games. That is where you need to get your points to get up the like. And now it's got to a point playing Liverpool at Anfield and the form they're in at the moment. I am dreading that game. Absolutely dreading that game.
They don't need to be on form. Like Liverpool don't need to be on form. They literally didn't get out of third gear when they spanked us at Old Trafford. Like, it was just a training match for them. So
their attack is scary, absolutely scary. So I'm not looking forward to that game. But if you're gonna get top 4, they're the type of like you're gonna have to go get a draw at Anfield, for example, beat Arsenal at the Emirates, these kind of results. And we know United. it's obviously it sounds a bit pessimistic, but we've watched them all season, so we know what they're capable of.
Just one quick thing. Just basically hoping that the other teams drop points.
That's it.
And at the end of the day, listen, it is what it is at this point. We should just go for it. I just hope the players aren't as pessimistic as we are right now. I just hope, just go for it one game at a time.
I agree with the Europa Conference League as well. Like, can you imagine Cristiano Ronaldo playing in the conference? Like, I can't fathom it. Really can't fathom it. Sam, on Cristiano Ronaldo, I think he's going to be back for this game. How much of a boost will that be for the team? No Bruno or Pogba playing in that 9, which I alluded to before.
I mean, the last few games, Tottenham aside, he hasn't been in great form, has he? Like, when he has played, like, he hasn't.
He's our only striker. That's what I'm getting at, though. Like, who else?
But like, what's the point when he's not scoring? Like, he's not scored.
He's still his second top goal scorer in the league, Sam.
I know. In the beginning of the season, he was, but he's dried up since. And then tactically, I don't know if it's his decision or it's Ralph's decision, but him coming deep or drifting out left and stuff and just leaving a massive hole in the box where he should be, which is like what we should be doing. He should just be staying there. Sancho get a ball to him. Whoever's on the left, Elanga or Rashford, getting the ball to him, put it on his head, put it in front of him. It'll score goals if he stays there. But he just keeps drifting out left and he just keeps dropping deep to get the ball. And then we're left with nobody. And it's just, we're basically playing without a striker because he's not tactically doing what would work best for the team. And he's the only striker we've got because Cavani's just decided he's not going to play for the rest of the season because he's leaving in the summer. But I don't think it helps us unless Tottenham Ronaldo decides to show up.
It reminds me a bit of when Wayne Rooney, when we was deploying him as a 9, like one of his best goal scoring seasons, because when I was watching Monday Night Football the other day, like I had the nostalgia of watching it, all his old goals and stuff. But when he was playing up front, he used to drop deep, and Ferdinand used to go mad at him all the time, saying your thing is to score goals. And I get you want to get on the ball, and he wants to be involved in the game. I think that's more the thing with Ronaldo. He wants to have a presence in the game, and if he's working a bit of a graveyard shift in a specific game, then he naturally drops deep. But I get what you're saying. I agree.
Harry Kane does the same thing, but he's got Son who's willing to make those runs in behind him and get the ball. So Harry Kane drops deep, grabs the ball. He knows Son is going to make that run, and he's got someone to tag to. Ronaldo hasn't got that. He hasn't got anybody there to get the ball to.
Harry Kane is an amazing playmaker. Like, his passing ability is understated. Like, he's so good on the ball. Yeah. He's like a De Bruyne up front. It's mental. Yeah. Like,
that's not Ronaldo's game. Like, that's not his game. He's a goal scorer. He's in later years now, he's a poacher. Like, that is his game. Stay in the box, stay in the penalty area, stay around there. You will get your goals because Sancho will give it to him. Like, him and Sancho have got a good relationship. Obviously, Rashford's out of form, so that's debatable. And he was having sort of issues with him beforehand, but they weren't passing to each other or anything like that. So it's dodgy. But Sancho getting the ball, Bruno getting the ball, like, keep him in the box. Like, just say to him, look, don't move within that sort of 20-yard thing. Just stay there and we'll score. But whether he does or not is another matter.
It's interesting to see how Everton set up tactically to deal with that, because I know they've been playing a lot with a back 5 as well as a 4-3-3. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually match us in that, or if they go for a back 5 again, where Ronaldo might get a little bit isolated. But Adam, on Everton, how do they set up tactically under Lampard?
Well, looking at Lampard, especially what he's done in the past, as you mentioned there, he likes to implement the 4-3-3 setup. The fullbacks are asked to go forward a lot there. The wide midfielders would drift inside, and that would be then vacating space and dragging the opposition fullbacks then out of position. So their fullbacks then do the overlap, so it provides them with space. But then you've mentioned that he's played 5 at the back too, because he's had to change his system, because he's often gone into teams like, say, Derby, who at the time were up in the playoff position. So they were one of the better teams in the championship at the time. And then he obviously went to Chelsea as well. So I think a player that I've kind of picked out who he's used a lot was Mason Mount. And then people are saying, oh, he signed Donny and he signed Dele Alli to be used kind of similar to how he plays. And so usually he likes one of the central midfielders. He likes
He's
one
more
of them too.
You had like Rafa Benitez, who was more like very pragmatic and defensive coach, and it is more about keeping a clean sheet, keeping it solid. And then Lampard's kind of like a bit of a flip of that, and he's a bit more like aggressive in the attack and stuff, a bit more open.
So he has that one midfielder who will play very aggressively in attack, and they'd press a lot. They'd make constant runs into forward spaces as well, and this led to them that midfielder score, and usually Mason Mount to score a lot of goals. But as we've seen now, he signed Van Donny and Dele Alli, and it hasn't really worked out that way for them. And that's why when we were thinking back when he did sign Donny, many did expect him to be used in the same way as Mason Mount in his previous spells, but it hasn't come to that, because Donny has the ability to carry the ball, get shots off. We've seen it under Ten Hag at Ajax. We haven't seen enough of it at Manchester United, sadly.
Could you imagine the irony if he was? I don't think he's allowed to play against us, but could you imagine the irony if he played for Everton tomorrow and scored the goal for him that kept him up against us? Mm-hmm. Like it's crazy. They're in a proper dogfight down there at the moment.
Seamus Coleman not getting a shout out, Adam. I'm surprised. Nothing.
The Sligo boy.
Sligo boy, come good.
Yeah. An Ireland captain too. Ireland international captain. But yeah.
Is he still captain now?
Yeah, still captain.
Is it? At 35 years old, is it?
Yeah. I mean, we're not blessed with that much talent here on this island. Yeah. But tactically, we're not going to talk about that.
Fair enough. I'll let you move on.
Have you qualified for the World Cup?
Again, we're going to move on.
This is a United channel, not an Ireland channel.
I'm just saying England have, Nigeria have.
Nigeria hasn't.
I know. And he not qualified.
Ghana knocked us out.
Yeah, and Ghana knocked us
out. Gutted.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
To be there.
Now, you're English fans. Us Irish, Nigerians, and Indians, we never get to experience this. So
I'll let you know what it's like when at the end of this year when we go into Qatar and play. I'll let you know what it's like.
And when your own fans are booing you.
It's a shit tournament anyway. Who wants to?
Oh. Come on.
I just want to say us Irish would have burned out in Qatar, so it's for our health that we didn't qualify.
Just Seamus Coleman setting on fire on the pitch.
Also, I think you're only allowed to buy beers in the actual stadium, like nowhere else. They only sell them in the stadium, and they're like £10 pints or something like that.
The Irish are going to drop dead if they're not allowed to have beer.
There's no beer at all, like dried out. Like, oh my
God. Forced to drink water. What is this? I don't understand.
The fuck is this? It tastes nothing like bloody shit.
It's meant to be Guinness.
Exactly.
Can't buy Guinness. What's going on in this country?
So that's a great tactical preview there. Talking about Ireland in the World Cup. Love it.
There is one point though.
Go on, Adam.
At Derby County, they averaged 56.2% possession, which was the fifth highest in the league. And in his first spell at Chelsea, he averaged 60%, which was third to City and Liverpool. But he hasn't really implemented that into this Everton team. And I felt like at the start he tried to do that. And that's why he's changed to a back five now. And it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of similar to how Ralph came in and he wanted to play his style and he had to switch it back up.
That 4-2-2 just really didn't work for us at all, did it?
No.
Our first few games, you saw Norwich and Newcastle having like 12 shots in the first half, and you just like, mate, this ain't working. Like, switch it up rapid, please, because that was absolutely dog shit. He found out quick time the hard way that formation weren't going to work. I don't know if you've done on your tactical analysis or move the conversation on a little bit. Survey focusing on United specifically. What is the catalyst for our bad form? Like, I think personally it's a fitness issue and confidence, but what are your thoughts on it?
Should I ask you to just list the players? That'll be easier than going for anything else.
No, I think it's a bit of both. Like you said, with fitness, confidence, but I think the players are like just in a rut at the moment, like with the bad results that after bad results. I also think that all the negativity from everyone, social media, I think is getting back on the fans. On the players. I think it's really getting back to them. I think it's affecting them. Nobody wants to be caught making a mistake. We've seen how we've roasted Maguire online. Nobody wants to be the next Maguire. Nobody wants to make a mistake. No one's taking any risks. They're all scared of this shit. Just like.
It reminds me of when Gary Neville said on Monday Night, Jamie Carragher said on Monday Night Football, like, no one wants to be a Gary Neville. I was saying, no one wants to be a Maguire. No one wants to be that guy.
Yeah, nobody wants to make a mistake. Like, I think it's a mix of fitness and confidence, but at the same time, I also think that it's a problem that we've had for years now. The chemistry in the team is off. Some players just don't. I mean, you've got a squad and a Brazilian in the midfield. Like, where's the chemistry there? Like, do you understand? So it's like is
Fred Brazilian? Has he found his passport? I'm like...
So it's like, yeah, but I think the chemistry with the players to implement the style of play that Ralph wants to, it's just a bit off. It's
non-existent in it.
It's non-existent.
I don't think the clicks help either. Different clicks in the dressing room. It doesn't help.
It's a group of individuals, isn't it? It's a group of individuals. That's what we've got.
Imagine like a standoff at the canteen. You've got Dallo, Ronaldo, and Bruno sat on one side with a knife and fork, and then you've got Maguire, Rashford, and Shaw on the other side with a knife and fork, just like deking each other out.
Yeah, wait. No, Shaw's not with a knife and fork. He's just got a bowl and a hovel. That's what.
And a burger in his hands. Just like
ordering
Ronaldo's like that. Staring at the burger.
Don't eat dessert.
Putting it down.
Lindelof is sitting in between them.
Exactly.
As the flow.
Well, I think that's what separates us from the rest of the other teams, from like City and Liverpool, especially.
Absolutely.
Is that we don't have a style of play, like a discernible style of play. So Liverpool lost Mane and Salah during the AFCON. They had it. It didn't make a bloody difference. Even when Thiago is out or someone else is out, Harvey Elliott or whatever comes in, he's not an amazing player, but he plays in the system and he knows what he's supposed to do. Man City didn't sign a striker at the start of the season. Everybody thought, it's going to be so. They have a system. They know. We United, like once a couple of players are injured, that's it. And everyone else comes in and it's all individuals, like Sam said. So I think it's a mix of everything. It's the individuality, it's the fitness. We've had injury problems and confidence as well.
And that is the absolute reason why we're emphasising patience with Ten Hag, because them issues don't change overnight. As we know, it's going to be a long period.
I said one thing. He mentioned Liverpool there. My friend who supports Liverpool, he messaged me saying that Romano said that they're signing Fabio Carvalho.
I think it's here we go now, isn't it? He's here we go.
It's done deal. It's done deal.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Fabio Carvalho from Fulham.
From Fulham.
Yeah.
Midfielder from Fulham.
He's like 19. Is he young?
You'll know about
he's
this.
Really young. 2021.
Give it 6 months when he's a mainstay in the squad and he's absolutely killing it, and everyone will be raving about him.
Was it attacking centre?
Yeah, kind of attacking midfield.
Echoing all our sentiments there, Severe. Echoing all
I was going to say, take it away from Liverpool, but we're going to stay around the Goodison Park area. Tomorrow afternoon, we're obviously playing at Everton's ground, which is known for its cagey atmosphere. Do you think that will have a big impact on the game? Because looking at it, I think we've won 6 away games from home this season. Out of how many games we played? Something like 30. Is it now? 29, 30 games. So, do you think that's going to make a big difference tomorrow?
I'd say if it was like under other circumstances, like say Everton were where they normally are in the league and we were challenging for top 4, I think it might make a difference because we had a bit of a struggle. Was it Cavani who scored in like the 89th minute with 3-2?
Yeah, it was left foot.
That game.
Goal.
Yeah, and we were getting battered for that game. Like we were not.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the one in the cup, the one he scored when Bruno set him up in like the last minute.
Yeah,
Where I'm thinking of a different goal. But
and we were getting battered. The crowd was on at us. They were proper like on the like stuff like that. So yeah, under normal circumstances it could. But in a minute, I think the Everton fans are broken fans at the minute. I think they're on their arse and they don't know what to do because the club's facing relegation. They're getting beat by Burnley.
We saw that. Sorry to interrupt you there, Sam. We saw that on Opposition Opinion, which is on YouTube if you want to go check that out. Because
go watch that.
It's a very detailed review from an Everton fan who, if you think we're depressed, listen to him talk about Everton, the way the things he's talking about. Like honestly, it's turmoil there at the minute. But yeah,
the owners shambles. Like he's spent 500 million or something like that. And can you name a good player they bought?
They've got Damari Gray was okay for the first 6 months, and then
what are you free transfer though?
He's £1 million paid for.
Yeah, like buying a £50 million nonce in Gylfi Sigurdsson, James Rodriguez.
James. What happened with that one?
He went to Qatar or something. I don't know.
They sold Digne to Aston Villa.
And then fired the manager.
And then sacked the manager, but didn't like being managed by Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa. Like it was just it made absolutely no sense.
James Rodriguez started off. Also they got. Don't they have Walcott still? Or has he gone? Has he left?
Oh no, Walcott plays
for
Southampton.
He's got Southampton. They got Andros Townsend, who's what has he done? Like
just scored against us really.
Scored worldies, that's it. He scores absolute worldies.
It's a terrible team, and the team they constructed, it doesn't seem like much like United. It doesn't seem to have a plan like at all. Like they just they don't have a style of play. They don't like under David Moyes. You understood what Everton were about. You understood exactly how they played and what they wanted to do, and they were always in the top 6, 7, something like that. I think one year they finished 4th as well, didn't they? Like Champions League places. I think one year. But yeah, that club's fallen far. So I don't think the fans are like the same that they were even last season. I think it's a very depressing place, Goodison Park, as is Old Trafford right now. So
hanging on for dear life, aren't they? At the minute, dear life. Shreyas, bit random, but any chance the news that broke last night may give some of our players a boost? Are you expecting more of the same from these bottle jobs?
I mean, to be very honest, a lot of news articles have come out and these players don't really react to stuff like under normal conditions you would see some players trying to try to go a little over their limit and try to impress or actually just making their presence felt during the game. But with these players, I don't really see them reacting to somewhat of an article like a new manager coming in. They're just going to do the same job all over again, the same story all over like we've seen throughout this season. So it doesn't really matter what kind of news article comes out unless a few of them are released. Or are given warnings about them leaving the club. I don't really think that anything's really going to change.
Yeah, no fake manager bounce in between it. No.
Luke Shaw's deleting his Deliveroo account. I know that.
So what I'm gonna do, what I initially had planned was I was gonna pick names out of a hat and positions out of a hat. I'm gonna be honest, completely forgot. I haven't done it, but I've still got an idea. So I'm gonna give you a position, and then I want you to tell me one signing you'd make in the summer for that position for Ten Hag. So looking at the recruitment in the summer. So Adam, I'll start off with you. I'm gonna throw you a random position, okay?
One that we need now, I hope.
So you're getting put on the spot. No, it might not be. It could be a different.
Give him number 10. Give him number 10. I want to see that.
Oh God.
So I'll say left back.
I think we mentioned them in our didn't we do a transfer kind of round up who we would sign? It was Theo Hernandez from AC Milan, top of the league, proper attacking fullback. He's relatively young as well, really young. So, and he has, I think, isn't it his brother who's actually starting for Bayern Munich? He plays kind of that.
Lucas Hernandez.
They're brothers.
Yeah, Lucas.
Yeah. And he's actually starting on that side for France. So he's someone who I can see starting like in that French national team as well. And from what I've seen of him, he just looks like such a player. He's fast, he's strong, he's tall, he's good at defending. And for me, he'd be perfect in a Ten Hag system on that left side.
Okay, Theo Hernandez. I'll go to Shreyas next, and I will throw you goalkeeper. I don't say your 51-year-old captain you had on that when we did that random flag generator.
Do you remember his name, Shreyas? Do you remember his name?
Yes, Antonios Nikopoulos.
Yes. Legend.
Of course he remembers. How can you forget?
A 51-year-old keeper. I still can't believe you won that poll. How the fuck you won that poll?
No way. There's no way. Like, there's
absolutely.
I had Salah and Lewandowski in my team, mate. Like,
yeah,
that is ridiculous.
And he still won it.
And Callum Robinson.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, exactly.
Yeah. A dynamic trio: Lewandowski, Salah, and Callum Robson. Oh my god. Shreyas, goalkeeper. We're thinking around Europe. Who would you bring in? Think about Ten Hag coming in. How we like to play out from the back. Who would you bring in?
I mean, he does like a kind of a keeper who is good with the ball and likes to break passing lines and go really, really swiftly into the counter attack. So right now we've got there and we've seen how he struggles with his distribution at times, but still think that he can actually work on that because
not that show. It's not that show. If you want to watch that, go check it out on our channel, Keep or Sell. It's scroll down a little bit and you'll find it.
Some controversial opinions in that show.
Yeah, as always.
But I think when you see at keepers who are actually really good at that job, then I think there's Handanovic from Inter Milan.
Ooh,
I know he's like really old, but when you see
is he 51, Shreyas?
He's 34 or 35, but he's not.
He's fine then. He's fine.
That's not bad. That's not a bad age. It's not a bad age for a keeper anyway.
For a keeper, that's good.
Yeah.
And
I point one goalkeeper out too. Ajax's keeper is leaving on a free transfer this June.
Yeah.
Is that Unana? What's his name?
Oh no, that'd be such a chant.
Oh yeah, of course it was.
It is. Is it not?
Yeah. I don't know. I just
Who did we come up for a chant for Ajax? Is it Justin Timberlake?
Just Timber, Timber at the back.
Timber, yeah. So we've got one for him.
Don't get me started on that again, because I'm gonna get on a laugh here. Don't, because I'll lose it. I'll lose it. I've got Justin Timberlake songs just running through my fucking head at the minute. Where are we at? Keeper, Shreyas. Who do we have in?
So I think Handanovic could be actually a really good shout because he's really, really good with his distribution game. And except that, I mean, we can't really take Antonios Nikopoulos, guys levels above. He doesn't even need goalkeeping gloves to defend. He just goes like this. So
it's like the Force on Star Wars.
Like Neo. Like Neo from the Matrix.
You see Shaolin Soccer when he does it? He's just got bare hands and he's giving it all. Wow, what a classic film that was. Right, so we're going with Handanovic in net, yeah? We'll take that. We'll take that. Severe, I'll come to you next. I'm going to ask you to give me a winger.
He's going to say Anthony Martial, isn't he? He's going to say Martial.
No, you can't have Anthony. You can't have the other Anthony. I'm not giving you that. Someone else.
I can't have the Ajax Anthony.
No, I'm going to throw you. I want to bring a bit of difficulty into the...
So what was that, right winger you said?
Any winger you want, left winger or right winger around Europe right now that's killing it, that you think, you know what, I'd bring it. And don't pick Diaz or something like from Liverpool. You can't have a Liverpool player.
Of course not. Cool.
Yeah. If you want to,
what do you take me for?
if you want to make Nick happy, there's a certain Real Madrid player.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nah, I'm going to Kingsley Coleman. I've
had enough. Come on, man. Vinicius Junior.
Nah, man. I'm going Kingsley Coleman all day.
Okay.
All day.
Good player.
Good shout.
Yeah. I mean, he's won everything there is to win with multiple teams. Juventus.
Everywhere he's been in it.
Yeah, and he's, so confident. He just strikes fear into defenders. He's very no one really talks about this guy.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. No one really talks about him. His decision making is amazing.
Score a goal in the Champions League final as well.
In the final.
PSG.
Yeah.
I think because he's guaranteed he's not leaving Is it Bayern? Is that currently?
Yeah.
He's not leaving Bayern, is he? So why would papers talk about him? Because he's not going to leave. So it's like,
I love that shout.
He was available when we got. Well, he wasn't available, but we could have
There was
gone
talks,
to him
wasn't
when we got.
When he's leaving Juve, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he was like his contract was kind of low or whatever. Also, Berghaus for Ajax. I know he floats, but I'm not sure if he. I know at some point for Holland he played on the wing.
I was thinking floats, what? And then I thought,
off the pitch.
Georgie, you can float too.
He's got a balloon in his hand. I don't know why.
He has to play with ankle weights on, otherwise it just off the pitch.
Floats off the Georgie. Yeah, okay now. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll just keep it to Pullman, Kingsley Pullman.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Sam, what position should we throw to you? I'll give you
the bench, Donny Van de Beek.
I'll give you
assistant manager.
Centre back. I'll go with centre back. What centre back in your
first of all, captain.
Dominant contract.
Yeah.
Dominant contract.
Yes. So, I think I mentioned Sven Botman yesterday on the stream. I was talking about Ten Hag. 22 years old, absolute killing it for Lille. Part of the Liga winning side. They beat PSG to the title. I think Newcastle went in with about 4 bids trying to pry him away, and it just didn't happen. I think he'd be available for a good price. I don't think he costs that much. He's young. He's 6'4", I think we worked out. He's at 1.9. Yeah. He's a big lad. So easily replaced that absolute lummox we've got centre back right now. I think he'd play well with Varane and Lindelof. I think he'd complement them quite well. Not cost that much. I think Ten Hag would love him as well. I think he'd be like right up Ten Hag Street. Young player he can mould into a great centre back. Like,
you know what's scary? You know what's scary? I just have this feeling that one of our rivals is just going to poach him. I just have that feeling. Yeah. Because he was a bit like since, I don't know, like I think it was last summer window. So he was like available. And I was surprised no one went for him. And he's just one of them ones.
This window, he was linked really, really strongly with Newcastle when Newcastle was just going right.
January they were trying to I think they put four or 5 bids in for him and Lille turned them all down.
Don't forget this summer, I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea, but they've obviously got Aspilicueta who could be going, Rudiger and Christensen who could be going, so they're going to need centre backs. So
well, they're not allowed to buy anyone.
Oh shit! Yeah, they're not there. Unless someone takes over. They can.
Someone. But for now, they can't buy anyone. So.
And I'm going to throw one of my options in there. We spoke about and Statman had them. Darwin Núñez up front. 21 goals in 23 games, 5 goals in 5 starts in the Champions League. 6'2". He clocked a faster pace than Mbappe, Salah, Mane, and Walker in the Champions League. The guys are.
And didn't he score against the Scousers the other night?
Yeah, scored against Liverpool on Wednesday night.
I love him already. He scored against Liverpool.
He's good. He's ridiculous. No, Arsenal can't have him. I swear to God, if Arsenal sign him, I'll lose my shit.
Arsenal are actually really close to signing.
I hope not.
Well, what he laid down in his conditions were just that he wants Champions League football, and right now
that's us out then, isn't it? We're fucked.
Yeah, so he ain't coming. And I guess you mentioned Botman as well. I think Paqueta is also going to be leaving really, really soon as well from Lyon. So that would be.
Does he want Champions League football as well? Because we're just ruining fucking transfer picks here, aren't we?
That would absolutely be a dagger in my heart. That if Darwin Núñez chose Arsenal over United because they had Champions League football. I couldn't imagine a worse nightmare in my life. But yeah, they're
first time they actually have it in how many years? Also, Nick.
So we've got. Go on, Adam.
I was going to say I'll throw a curveball at you for some more positivity. Can you tell us what the fuck Darren Fletcher does?
Is he supposed to be a sporting director? I don't know.
He's technical director. That's his job title.
Yeah, but he's sat next to Rangnick telling him who should be on the pitch, who should do that.
And he's also interviewing managers as well, apparently.
Yeah,
with John Murtough.
A man of many assets.
I'd love to ask
I don't get it. It's a guy who's
just
come in from youth coaching, hasn't it? And then he's gone straight into the board.
Yeah.
And now he's doing interviews for the manager. Like, yeah, it don't make sense to me. But so I've gone with Darwin Núñez for a striker. Sam's gone with Botman for a centre back. Shreyas has gone with Handanovic in net. Sevilla has gone with Coleman on the left or right wing or whatever. And Adam, who did you have again? Remind me.
Theo Hernandez.
Hernandez. Perfect. Yeah, I just thought I'd do that instead of a combined 11 because I did a combined 11 with Alex on Wednesday. So, yeah, talk about combined 11. Let's talk about predicted 11. Bringing it back to the game tomorrow, of course. At the end of every show, we do a predicted 11. So I'll start off with mine, and then you lads, if you can quickly tell me yours, we'll go through that. I'm going to go with De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, Bruno, Scott, Pogba, Rashford, Ronaldo, Sancho. I think Ronaldo will be back for this game, so we'll come straight back in. Elanga and Rashford didn't play well against Leicester, so I think it's a toss-up between him and Rashford. I want Elanga to play, but I think he'll probably pick Rashford. And yeah, I think we'll take the game to him, so Pogba and Bruno will both start together. Sam, give me a predicted 11 if you can, please.
Yeah, De Gea, Dalot has to start because he's been our best, arguably one of our most consistent players. It's going to be Varane and Maguire because that's how it is. I think he'll start Tellers. I think he's going to want fullbacks and stuff like that to be going bombing forward because, like you said, he's going to want to win. So I think he's going to put Tellers there rather than Shaw. I think he's going to start Matic, and I think you're right. I think it's going to be Pogba and Bruno, and Matic is like the holding midfielder. I think he trusts Elanga way more than Rashford at this point because we played with Pogba and Bruno up front. When we had Rashford on the bench, you could play central striker. So I don't think he trusts Rashford. I don't think he trusts him to do anything right now. So I think Elanga starts with Sancho and then, Ronaldo's up top.
Shreyas?
Yeah, I think De Gea is going to start in net. Dalot on the right, Varane, Maguire starting as the two centre-backs. Now, last game, we saw that Luke Shaw had to go off with an injury, so you never know. Maybe he wouldn't want to risk his fitness. So Telles is going to be starting at left back. Other than that, I think Matic is going to start as a holding midfielder. I think when he came on against Leicester as well, it actually looked like something is happening in that midfield. So Matic is going to start for us, I guess. And except that, I think Pogba is going to get benched. And Fred and Bruno will be starting because even though Fred hasn't really been able, his passing game isn't really there for the last few games, but he's still been able to get us some crucial goals, especially against Leicester where we could have actually just dropped 3 points. So I think Fred and Bruno are going to be starting. And except that, I still think that he's going to be picking Elanga because if you've got no Ronaldo and you're still picking Elanga and not picking Rashford, it does speak for itself that he doesn't trust Rashford. And so Elanga is definitely starting with Sancho and Ronaldo up top. And except that, I think if I'm in Rashford's position, I wouldn't really want to start this game as well because you look at this Everton side, and if you are a player like Rashford who's already under so much pressure regarding game time, you go into this game starting and you aren't able to pull off a performance. I think it just kills his entire season until the new season starts, because this would be the game where you would expect at least Rashford to do something. And if he doesn't perform in this game either, then why would he even be around the team if he's able to perform in this one?
I just want to see a game with goals in it, to be honest. I'm not even asked if it's 3-3 or something like that. I just want to see an exciting game. Sick of watching boring, like, paint drying games. It's depressing. Survey, you predicted 11, please, mate.
Yeah, Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Tellers, because Luke Shaw went off injured. De Gea in nets. I think we're going to see a McFred, Bruno. Pogba came back from France with a slight injury and he played.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to play this game. And then we're going to have Sancho, Elanga, Ronaldo up top.
I don't mind that team. Don't mind it at all. And the man from Sligo, what are we saying? We predicted 11.
Well, Henderson, no, I'm kidding. De Gea and yeah.
Imagine if you got that
right. Imagine he picks Dean Henderson, Phil Jones. Right.
Yeah. Never know at this point.
No, you may as well throw them in at this point.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Can
So
we bring
De Gea
Ted
and Nesh.
Mengi back from loan, please? I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Maguire.
Dallo right back, Varane, Maguire, of course. It's always the case. At least we don't get trashed when Varane starts. That's the only positive.
Yeah.
Left back, I think Shaw might be back. I'm not too sure if the injury was that serious against Leicester. McFred in midfield with Bruno. One thing I've noticed is in recent weeks, Lampard likes to play Iwobi in the midfield, in the tree in midfield. So he's been quite sloppy with the ball at times. So Fred's going to be there pressing him, running onto him like a dog chasing cars, you know. And get that in there. And then up front, I think it's going to be Elanga, Ronaldo, Sancho.
Interesting. Can I just say I like the Irish Joker as well, like a dog chasing cars. I love it.
A dog chasing cars.
As he sips a Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys, that is the
Player
preview done pretty much. So obviously the match is tomorrow live from.
We're not doing predicted scores.
Yeah, from his scores. Sam, go.
1-0 United.
Okay.
Best I can do.
Shreyas.
I think a draw 1-1.
Oh, I hope not. Survey.
2-0.
Mr. Positive.
Yeah, 2-0 United.
2-0 United. I do.
Scrappy.
Yeah.
1-1 or 1-0 Everton.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
The season's took its toll on Adam, mate. Jesus.
Don't put this on in the dressing room before a game. Fucking hell.
Jesus.
I'm going to go a scrappy 2-1 to United. Potentially 3-1 if we get early goals, but I'll stick with 2-1. So now the match is tomorrow, live from 12:30 on BT, I think it is, but we'll be live an hour beforehand with the team lineup reaction, and we'll have halftime analysis.
Be me and Adam, I think.
Yeah, so Sam and Adam will be hosting that because I will be in Belfast, in the greatest country compared to Ireland, the Northern Ireland. I'm only joking, Adam.
You're looking to start a sectarian war here. This is not good.
All jokes aside, I'll be in Belfast.
I'm in Manchester next week. Just remember that.
So we will have halftime analysis,
I hate my
analysis. As always, thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Any support, we absolutely, all of us appreciate it here at Real
The link
Reds.
is here.
The link is
here.
So just type
like all the videos, subscribe to the videos, comment on the videos, share them everywhere. Like if you know anybody's into football, anybody hates United or likes United, send them in.
Look, I'll take controversial opinions all day. Anyone who hates United, throw some debates at me, and we'll have a talk about it. But yeah, on our socials, follow us. Just type in Real Reds Talk on Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you're usually active on, and we will be there with news, clips, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you for joining us.
We're trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of the season. So if you could get us there might be a competition for somebody lucky. So get us 100 subscribers, and be
absolutely good. And thank you for joining me, lads. As always, I appreciate your time a lot and your thoughts.
Getting them.
Let's
It's common.
Let's you know what, I'm gonna end it on that. Let's just end it on that. All right.
Yes.
See you in a bit, guys. Thank you for joining me.
See you.
Peace.